My Canadian listeners will be especially interested in this show. Germany mandates EV charging build-out, Model Y has some cold weather tricks up its sleeve, and we take a peek at another aspect of the US Gigafactory showdown. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 601 for June 8th, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using it as a referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000-mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. This week starts with information that Canadian listeners will want to pay close attention to. First up, via Elon's Twitter feed, is that existing Canadian owners will be likely happy to hear that the traffic control features for autopilot should be coming to Canadians this week. Twitter user at AKIDESIR, I don't know how to pronounce that, a kidisier, I guess, asked Elon if there were any updates on the matter, and Elon responded saying simply, quote, unquote, Thursday. So rejoice, Canadian FSD owners, you're about to pick up a major piece of the suite. The other good news comes to Canadians with Model Y orders. Tasmanian reports that via both Reddit and Twitter that Canadian order holders should be contacted for deliveries this month. The latter source was actually a Western Canada sales advisor letting everyone know that deliveries were coming to Vancouver, adding validity to the story. As I said when the Chinese order site opened for Model Y, new territories picking up the latest and greatest from Tesla is always a good thing. Next up, we stay with Tasmanian, where we continue a bit of international flair for today's show. As part of its €130 billion economic recovery plan, Germany is mandating that all gas stations in the country must install charging facilities for electric vehicles to assist in the increasing demand for EVs. The plan would see steadily increasing taxes to fine non-compliant station owners that delay in doing so. No doubt this would certainly alleviate one of the common concerns of buying an EV if charging stations were as plentiful as gas stations. There's no time frame given in the article on when this would take effect, and some light Googling didn't turn up anything either. But as this is a coronavirus-related recovery effort, it should hopefully see charge points popping up all over Germany soon. We switch over to Teslarati for our final two stories. The first one is for all you new and soon-to-be Model Y owners out there in cold weather climates. It seems Tesla's learned a thing or two since launching Model 3, and Model Y has some solutions for frozen door handles and charge ports. On the door handle front, Model Y door handles can actually be pressed on either side to create some movement of the mechanism. While you can't open the door by pressing the narrow end, you can move the handle slightly inward with it, allowing you another tool in your belt to break up an iced-over door handle. The other solution for the charge port is a bit more direct and to the point. The Model Y charge port is heated, so you should never have an issue with ice collecting over the charge port on Model Y. Great to see Tesla rolling with the punches and making these things better. Hopefully those improvements also make their way to new Model 3s down the road. Lastly for this show is a quick look at the near-complete saga of choosing the next US Gigafactory location. While we've known for some time that Texas does not permit direct sales of vehicles to consumers from a manufacturer in the state, what many may not be aware of is that Oklahoma also does not permit direct sales either. This was news to me, as it seems strange that Tesla would narrow its choice for the new factory down to two finalists that didn't permit it to do business as it wished within their state. As we have all speculated with Texas, so too now we can speculate with Oklahoma that any factory build would come tied to lifting this restriction within the state. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt believes that this can be solved by collaborating with state lawmakers, despite no progress before now. Tesla previously had a chance with a bill before lawmakers in Texas in mid-2017 that would have seen its operations legalized in the state, but it was never able to make it to a vote in either the House or the Senate before the end of the legislative session. The interesting bit of this now is that Tesla sets itself up to possibly get both states to legalize its operations before any decision is made. At least, if I were Elon, that's what I would be looking for. As we all know, promises from lawmakers are about as reliable as weather forecasters getting the forecast correct. If Tesla commits to a state before that law is changed, there's zero guarantee that the law will be changed, and Tesla could be stuck with their decision in a state that gave them the old bait and switch. Of course, the reverse is also true, though if I were Elon, I would word the requirement in such a way that it was clear that only states where they can freely do business could be considered for the factory, not that it was guaranteed. Given that there's a slew of important Tesla dates coming up soon, we should see a final announcement any moment, so I'll keep my eyes peeled for developments and bring them to you as soon as possible. That will do it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits, including my newest supporter, DJ Randall. Hey, that's a name I can get behind. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Gooperman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Joy Rodriguez. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.